ओम ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रीहरिं परमानंदम उपदेष्टारमीश्वरं व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां। I think I made a mistake. Huh? Correct. व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तं नमाम्यहम्. So problem is, when you try to look at the verse differently. I don't know what is happening to me today. The computer is not supporting me. Okay, just one minute. Oh God, no, it's not supporting. Okay, so if it does not support, what can I do? Nothing much I can do. Okay, okay. Verse number straight away. Let us go to 1, 2, 3. ब्रह्मी वास्मिति सत्कृत्या निरालंबतया स्थितिः ध्यान शब्देन विख्याता परमानंददायिनी. So here, as we are looking at that, how after dharana, dhyanam comes. Especially when we start concentrating on, and if we are able to maintain that concentration, the object of concentration and the process of concentration becomes smooth. So that becomes here called Dhyana, what is popularly called as meditation. We have different types of meditation. That's why our book on meditation explains in details. We have different types of definitions on meditation too. It depends upon you as a seeker or as an achiever or as a confused person. Let us say if you are a confused person, you need some solace to bring down, calm down mind, also meditation is there. If you want to achieve something, of course you need to meditate. Like, all the thieves before stealing, they do meditation, proper meditation, how to steal, how to do, what to do, what not to do, a proper planning, okay? Whereas if you are a seeker of truth, the meditation is entirely different. Generally, if you want to see all this meditation, there is one line that is common. So that is nothing but what? So there is a consistency. Not only there is a consistency, so there is a continuous flow of a particular thought. If we look at somebody wants to achieve success, so related to success, whether to do not pull down the bus or to support subordinate, do this politics, that do politics, you understand? Make mess, this, do that, all related to one particular subject. There is a continuous flow. Can you see this, make out this point? So in Dhyanam, there is a continuous flow and also consistency has to be there, number one. But it is what? It needs something to rely upon, depend upon. Alambana saha vartate. So you need the object of meditation. If there is no object, meditation will be boring. It's like, especially today, I let me bring woman joke. So, like, if there is nothing to fight, a woman will get bored, okay? So something should be there to fight, okay? And as long as the fight is there, that long, perfect. The woman mind is healthy, okay? And not that man mind, okay? Man also equal stupid, okay? Because why I got inspired today? Suddenly I saw something, okay? Two jokes I can share now, okay? So one joke, I was talking to someone. Somebody said, Swami, I have a very good experience I would like to share with you. I said, yes, please tell me, what is that? Yes, Swami, please imagine. In your house, women are there. And your office also, woman becomes boss. So what to do? I said, wow, that's a good point. He said, Swami, is very simple. Now what? In home, I cannot open my mouth. That's good point. Then what about office? In office, I should not open my mouth. So this is the only difference, okay? I cannot and I should not. I say, wow, that means you are getting matured, okay? Same joke also I was watching, somebody from there it went. What census people have come to do this, find out all the details. So I asked a person, man came out, are you married or happy? So the person could answer, some noise came, and of course the person intelligently, smartly, sat down and something hit the person who came for census accounting. And of course he fell down. After getting up, he said, confirmed married. So here, as you need this dependence mind, please understand, I am not criticizing woman or man. That's why if you are not able to take this sort of things, that means you don't come under Vedanta category, because in the Viveka Chudamani itself, we have explained in details. We are not talking about Sharira, woman, this is the Stri Shariram, we are not talking about, we are talking about mind. So here, if you have this dependence in nature, which is generally predominantly available in Stri Shariram, in the physical body of a woman. If the same tendency is there with you, so that means you are perfectly what? A woman in physical body, also in mind. But you are not able to accept it. That's why there is a struggle, there is a fight, there is all competition problem. So that is not healthy at all. So, point is, when you want to live, so you need something to depend upon. that gets extended to meditation. While closing the eyes, so you need to depend upon, including upasana, Saguna Brahma Dhyana when you do. So you visualize. That's why in every puja, including every chanting, there is Dhyanam. Apatalanava Stalanta. It goes to Lord Shiva. Or Sinduraruna Vigraham Trinana Mother. So if we try to look at any Parayana, there is Dhyana Slokam, including Bhagavad Gita. We have this Dhyana Slokam. So this Dhyanam Slokam, which helps a person to dwell upon that aspect of that particular deities or different aspect of a given deities. That's better word. So the mind starts dwelling upon, depending upon, or following a line. It's like when we start learning alphabets, especially when we start writing alphabets. So what they do, they give us lined paper so that our hand writing should be straight. And those who do not follow, what happens? Permanently, they are stuck with what? Lined paper or no paper, okay? Where they start, where they end, no, God knows. And now this beautiful concept has come, this computer you type, or this notepad, this and that. So whatever you do, you have to train it, that fellow will take to the computer, okay? But when you shine, you know your signature. But nowadays that is also new style, okay? You can do signature so that nobody can copy, including you yourself, okay? However, so permanently depending upon. But we need to follow that so that our line is straight. Even if there is no lined paper, we continue. And Dhyanam is exactly like that. After Dharana, this is a process. After managing, after focusing, so what you need to do? So you need to allow them to settle so that there will be no fight. Because in focusing, in dharana, there will be some type of fight. And if your priority is being fixed, please understand. If your priority is already fixed, then what happens? Fighting will be less. That's why in Yoga Chudamani, it has been explained very carefully. What it has been explained, if you remember, that a given set of number, I don't want to tell the details, okay? A given set of number of pranayama makes what? Do you remember that? Okay? So a given set of pranayama will make what? Pratyahara. And again, same number of into that amount will become dharana. Then again, multiplied becomes dhyanam. So we have discussed in details in Yoga Chudamani Upanishads also. And here it is being taught in a careful way that a person must practice dhyanam, must do saguna brahma upasana to come to nirguna brahma. Suppose if you start jumping without any process, then what happens? Neither you are this side nor you are that side. And most of the Vedantins do end up in this way. And this is the truth. This is the reality. I would rather say this is the bitter truth. That's why this becomes a guhya vidya. This becomes a secret knowledge. Why secrecy is being maintained? Because if the person is not prepared, is going to only confuse. Whereas if you are prepared, it is a blessing. And why do you know whether you are prepared or not? After listening to still, you continue the way you are. If the confusion continues, if you try to continue, you with your logics, that means what? This is really a guhya vidya. This is secret knowledge. You are not fit eligible. Now, without spending much time, taking away your time. So he says, what he says very carefully, that look, first of all, that you need to look at Brahmi Basmiti Sad Vrittiya. So you need Vritti in mind. So the Vritti is Sat. So when he says Sad Vritti, that means what? That it is a given set of Vritti is nothing but Aham Brahma Eva Asmi Iti. I am indeed Brahman. So this vritti is called as sadvritti. All other vrittis are called asadvritti. Because mithya. And when you have this vritti, now what happens? You just what? You don't have any alambanam. So niralambataya, independent of everything. You don't depend upon. For example, if you start saying that, look, Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam Padmanabham Suresam. Kabhi kabhi suna? Have you ever heard this sort of thing? Anywhere? In once upon a time, in Vishnu Sasanam, okay? Now I think going on presently Vishnu Sasanam, if I'm right. Okay? Chanting class. So there it says, Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam Padmanabham Suresam Viswadharam Gagana Sadusam Meghavannam Subhangam. So the moment you start chanting, you are supposed to visualize that. Once you start visualizing that, now mind is depending upon different things. And that is how the mind works. And these are the alambanas. These are the stepping stones for you to go next step. Now, slowly, what happens here? He says, look, I don't need any alambana because mind is already straightforward. Like as I gave you the example of writing script. That long you should follow lined script as long as your letters are what? Letters are not readable or readable. You know better, okay? Unless you want to become a doctor, okay? So permanently, don't worry, okay? I don't know, all over the world, nobody can read, okay? So nowadays, engineers also, nobody can read, okay? Anyway, let us not get into too much. So here it says, Sadavritya. So you need to here have this aham eva brahma eva. Not that aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi, aham brahmasmi. It's not like that, okay? That becomes another alambanam, okay? Here, when you say aham brahmasmi, the teaching works. That's why enough of Sravana only allow you to nitidhyasana. Whereas if you have not done Shravana properly, when I say not done Shravana properly means you are listening to analyze, not to listen to, but to do everything. So that is not Shravanam at all. And when there is no Shravanam, there cannot be nididhyasanam at all. And this person, he says, Lord, when starts dwelling upon aham brahmasmi, automatically, okay, I am Brahma. Mind says, no, how is it possible? Hey, look, whatever you say, mind will straight away, whatever you say, not without fighting, whatever you say, hey, look, That is false. Who is talking all these things? Whatever habitual thinking or the experiential thought comes in, now is negated without a second by the mananam. And that has already taken care, or mananam has taken care of your subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind never pops up. And if subconscious mind popping up, taking over you, so that means a lot of complications. That's not today talk, okay? Now he says, look, because of this, now the person is able to dwell upon, also can see, yes, this is my experiential truth, this is the truth reality. I don't fight. It is exactly like mother and child, not father and child, okay? There is difference between mother and child, father and child. Mother and child, when I say, when child makes noise, mother can tolerate without getting disturbed. The child is crying, mother will be least bothered because mother knows which crying is what. Whether this is for attention or whether this is for food or whether this is for this, that, mother knows everything, okay? Whereas what happens to father, you know better. All the fathers, they know better, okay? How to spoil the child. Let us go for a walk, okay? And child knows also. And mother will, poor wife will start shouting, don't take, don't spoil. But what? Father, ego. So coming back. So mother is not affected with the sound of or noise of the child. How the mother accommodates. It's a very nice observation. You can observe this. How the mother accommodates. Whereas father is not able. Same thing happens in Dhyana. You accommodate. When you start accommodating, then you do not fight. Then only after this, alambanam, then you go to nirambalam manam. And he says, look, this is well known as what? That vikhyata. So this is well known, dhyana shabdena, by the word dhyanam. And he says, look, this is something what? Parama ananda daini. So it gives parama ananda, not ordinary happiness, but it gives, we call as giver of ultimate happiness. Why it is ultimate happiness? Because it gives the happiness that is not created. If it is a created happiness, that becomes what? Limited happiness. So here, being with the silence, not creating silence. Like we say, this is the difference between this, allopathy and Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, when we say the treatment, swasthya, what is swasthya? Health. It's a very nice concept in Ayurveda. That means what? It is called abiding sosmin tishtatiti, abiding one's own self called swastha, and that tasya bhava, the abstract sense is called healthy. As long as you are able to abide within yourself, you are a healthy person, maintaining that status. So when you are not able to abide within yourself, you are unhealthy. So why you are not able to abide within yourself? So they will say, in short, this kapha, vata, pitta is imbalanced. You are perfect. You don't have any problem. But in the body, kapha, vata, pitta is imbalanced. Then they will give you medicine. They will make sure that your kapha, vata, and pitta is being balanced. So they don't remove anything. You understand? So they balance. Once it is being balanced, what happens? You are a healthy person because already you are healthy. You are imbalanced. You are not unhealthy. Whereas in allopathy, what? I am a diseased person. So we need to remove this. We need to remove that. Okay, God knows what you add. Okay, that's another story altogether. It's an amazing concept to look at. However, here he says, look, if this is the case, now this Paramananda Thaini, so this gives Anandam that is limitless. Continuing, so that we'll see Samadhi. Nirvikarataya Vritya Brahma Karataya Punah Vritti Vismaranam Samyak Samadhi Jnana Sangyakah. So again he says, look, now when you are able to do this dhyanam continuous process, actually this dhyanam will lead to samadhi, because it is exactly like sleeping and sleeping taking over. And when sleep has taken over, when Nidra Devi has come, you do not know. But still we say, look, I am sleeping or I am preparing to sleep. I am in the process of sleep. And of course, deep sleep. Why we differentiate? Because one there is effort involved. In other, there is no effort. So one is you are preparing, other one already taken over. So also in dhyanam and samadhi. So one is with effort, other one is effortless. But in reality, there is no difference at all as for Vedantic Samadhi. Whereas if we go for yogic Samadhi, so there is Savikalpaka, there is Nirvikalpaka. We have discussed also in Yoga Sutra in details, but we could not complete. Maybe sometimes again we need to look into. However, so here it says, look, the person start dwelling upon the teaching effortlessly, spontaneous. So that is called samadhi here. Whereas if the effort is involved, that becomes dhyanam. And when anything changes, still the vritti is related to Brahman alone. That's why we have a beautiful example of this Odiya Baba in Vrindavan. He was very famous. Akhananji Maharaj used to quote him left, right. So the story goes about Odiya Baba very nicely towards his end time. So in his hand there was some wound, and there was some pus, and he was sitting. Because of the pus, the ants started coming, and ants were enjoying. So some people came to see him. Yeah, Swamiji, what are you doing? See, this pus will clean. So what is he didn't about that? Then what he was doing is some ants were falling down. Okay. So then he was lifting the ant again, putting them, eat. And he was enjoying. Then somebody asked, what are you doing? He said, look, for ant, this is a food. Ant does not know that I am Brahman. But I know I am Brahman, okay? Let ant eat the body. So one ant is happy. What I am going to lose? What I am going to gain? Either good, let it continue. So how effortlessly is able to dwell upon the teaching. That's why we have a lot of examples about devotees also differently. One of the story of this, while making the chapati, a dog comes and snatches and goes away. Now what the devotee does? Runs with the butter behind. Hey, look, 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 look. How can you eat without butter? Always I give to the God with butter. Without butter, I never give to the God. How can I give you, even though as a dog you have snatched away, don't worry. But the person doesn't look at the dog as a dog, looks at God as come and taken away. And this person runs behind the dog with the butter. Look, look, I will put the butter and then you can have it. And there sees the God. We have many types of examples, life examples, which signifies that samadhi. Do you understand the concept? That effortlessly you are able to dwell upon the teaching. You are able to live. That's why what happened? Now the person what continues with that. That's why starting with pratyahara, then dharana, dhyanam, up to that, the person has to continue. And moreover, tries to understand that everything is mithya, including that I am fighting with mithya words, including the class that we are having. Okay, this is also mithya. This is not satya either. This is the beauty of the teaching. Vedaha nirvedaha bhavati. The Veda itself becomes, I cannot say Veda becomes useless is a wrong word. Sometimes the Veda becomes useless. No, it's a wrong word. Okay. Veda it becomes useful for me, or word has no value because I don't need, but it is useful for others. Or when I come down to the low level, also it is useful for me. And interestingly, he says, look, now here, samadhi, something that happens, and of course, it is not a deliberate practice either. And remember, samadhi is the consequence of dhyana. But don't come to a conclusion that unless I have samadhi, I will not get moksha. That is not required. If this is the case, then anybody goes to coma should get moksha. You understand? Anybody goes to coma should get moksha. Because in coma, the person does not know anything, but is alive, everything is perfect, responding. So we have to be very clear that Shravanam, Mananam, Nitidhyasanam is the means for moksha, mainly Shravanam, because Shravanam is not complete. So in order to make complete Shravanam, we need Mananam and Nitidhyasanam. But if a person is in the process of Shravanam, Mananam and Nitidhyasanam, whether you like it or not, samadhi will happen, it will take over. But it does not mean that we have to strive for samadhi. That's why you have to understand what? This Vedantic samadhi is called Jnana samadhi. Not we are looking for yoga samadhi. In yoga samadhi, you have to prove. There is a struggle. Whereas in Jnana samadhi, absolutely no problem. So now let us look at with this the verse so that becomes easier. Nirvikarataya vritya. By being with the thought of changelessness. Because of dhyanam, now effortlessly, now this has what? Without effort, now things has happened. And what is that? He says, look, Brahma akarataya. As the form of Brahman, punaha samyak vritti vishmaranam. And then what happens? the complete forgetfulness of thoughts. Vritti Vismaranam takes place. So that you are not relating with your mind, surroundings, nothing. It happens. And that is what called Samadhi. Samadhi Uchyate iti. It is called Samadhi. And he uses this word, Ayam. You can add Ayam. This is called what? Jnana Sangyakaha. That means what? Jnanam, knowledge. That's why I use the word. This is called Jnana Samadhi. And Jnana Samadhi is a technically different from what? Different from definitely Yoga Samadhi. So with this, now we have completed 15 steps or limbs of Nitidhyasanam. Next we'll see whoever practices, what happens to the person and who is that person. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you.